So when an athlete walks into Nick Garage Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching, we have the best technology, we have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good. West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses: Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Keystone Home Inspections, Reed Plumbing, the Iowa Rush Soccer Club, 72 Degrees, your comfort company, the Sassy Flower Bakery, Alter Trading Corporation, West 40 Market, Nolte & Sons Lawn and Irrigation, Rod Brannon with Shelter Insurance, the New York Life offices of Josh Cowart, Dr. Brett Renzi and Health First Chiropractic, U.S. Cellular, the Helpful Smiles of Hy-Vee, Dr. Christy Semro with iMart Express, and Springer Floor Care. Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses: Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Nick Garage Fitness, Weichert Realtors, the 515 Agency, Ted Sandine Photography, Extreme Services, Sinorama Ankeny, and Amy Wiederin with Coldwell Banker.
Everything we do is here to benefit the client. Every decision that's needed to be made, the first question you should ask is, does this benefit the client, and is this the best thing for the client?
Our goal is to make a difference. We have the tools, resources, training, and leadership to make a difference in our agents' lives and their careers. And then they can then take that to make a difference in their clients' lives and ultimately make a difference in our communities.
We are available basically 24/7 to make sure that our agents are getting the support they need to look like $1 million in front of their clients.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Andy Pollack here, along with Kevin Fisher, Cash Von Bali, running the controls for us here tonight. It is number 1 in Class 5A, the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars, taking on number 5 in Class 4A, the Carlisle Wildcats. And Coach Fisher, tonight, as we get started with things, the biggest thing as we look at it for Centennial tonight is they're coming off an emotional 16 innings of play last night versus the number 5 team, or the number 3 team, in Class 4A and Class 5A. And tonight they're going to have to be focused in this one.
Yeah, they got to come back, and regroup again, because it was a very emotional night last night, as you said. 2 big wins against a very good team from the other side of the city here, and now you got Carlisle in town, and you can't fall asleep, and you just got to be ready to go.
Coach Jim Flaws always has Carlisle ready to roll, and they have been so good over the years. Traditionally very strong program. We've seen them at the state tournament. They just always have some very, very good players, and a team that Centennial has struggled with over the last few years. And I love that these teams play each other, because regardless of class, in softball, you get a good pitcher, a couple good hitters, it is really tough to win a game in softball.
That's absolutely right. You know what? You take away the class, take that away. You got a quality team in Carlisle, and every year, tradition, history, state tournament, you see them around. It's just they're kind of synonymous with that. So, you know what? You kind of throw out things on paper, and you just got to come out ready to play.
Carlisle's only loss on the year is to 4A number 1 Indianola, a team that before they went down to 4A, Centennial certainly had lots of run-ins with, and Indianola, another traditionally strong program as we look at things here tonight. But a good crowd on hand. It's the youth jersey night, so any girl who shows up in their youth softball jersey gets in for free, and should create quite the loud atmosphere here tonight.
Absolutely, looking forward to. A lot of fans look like they're coming in already tonight. Carlisle's brought a good crowd with them, and you know what? Should be nice and boisterous, and have fun, and just like I said, go play hard, be ready to go.
Yeah, very good crowd off the Highway 5 bypass there on the south side of Des Moines. And Carlisle always brings a lot of good fans here to their games. The baseball team as well is playing tonight. They lead 2-0 right now over Norwalk. That game can be found on their Game Changer channel at Ankeny Centennial Varsity Jaguars on Game Changer. So we always want to make sure every game is accessible here at Ankeny Centennial and through Centennial Digital, as it looks like the teams are starting to make their way out there. Coach Flaws and Coach Delaney are out there set to go with things, and we'll see how everything gets set up here tonight. Of course, we mentioned these teams have had some really, really good battles over the years. Last year, in fact, I believe even Carlisle won the game. They went to extra innings the year before here at Centennial, a game I remember it was on my birthday, and it wouldn't end. It was a great game, but one of the things this year, Centennial at 17-1, Carlisle at 15-1, 2 teams that have just figured out how to make plays at the right time, and we saw it again last night with the Jaguars.
Yeah, they just persevere. You know what? They pay attention to the little things, both of them do, and they play kind of at ease, though, at the same time, and that makes a big difference, when you go out there and you get in tight situations, and that's what we saw last night, and Centennial pulled off a nice victory there in the end with a late inning, 9th inning base hit by Addie Starr. So we're excited to see them go at it again tonight.
We've got we had news cameras here last night. We've got a lot of news cameras here tonight, as you see Channel 8 over there working their way down. I know Channel 13's been here as well. Just a lot of good storylines as you follow along with both teams, and we'll talk about some of those things here tonight. In the meantime, it's time for our starting lineups. We'll go to our public address announcer, Randy Vogel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Centennial Softball Field in Ankeny, Iowa. Tonight's game matches the Carlisle Wildcats out of the Raccoon River Conference. They have an overall record of 14 wins and 2 losses against the home team on the scoreboard, Ankeny Centennial, out of the Central Iowa Metro League, with an overall record of 17 wins and 1 loss. We ask that all spectators exhibit good sportsmanship towards our umpires, coaches, and players. Now let's meet the starting lineups for each team. First, for our visitors, the Carlisle Wildcats. Leading off, the shortstop, number 15, Reagan Rolling. Batting second for the Wildcats, the right fielder, number 7, Riley Sievers. Batting third for Carlisle, the catcher, number 4, Lauren McGriff. In the cleanup spot, the designated player, number 16, Delaney Thompson. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 29, Kaylin Fernal. In the sixth spot, number 10, the first baseman, Lainey Schick. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 20, Kalia Freeman. In the eighth spot, the left fielder, number 30, Allie Nolte. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 23, Abby Berry. And in the circle tonight for the Wildcats, number 3, Addison Abel. The Wildcats are coached by assistant coaches Justin Flaws and Kennedy Preston. The head coach is Jim Flaws. And now for the home team, the Centennial Jaguars. Leading off and playing center field, number 15, Mackenzie James. In the two spot, the right fielder, number 3, Peyton Drefke. Batting third, first baseman, number 28, Sydney Morris. In the cleanup spot, she's playing third base tonight, number 25, Jordan Kennedy. In the 5 spot, she's at shortstop, number 13, Mariah Bowser. Batting 6th, the left fielder, number 11, Maddie Ott. Behind the dish tonight, number 12, Addie Starr. Batting 8th, the designated player. She wears number 1, Maitland Vallejo. And batting 9th, the second baseman, number 10, Cora Boyle. And in the circle tonight for Centennial, she wears number 6, Lauren Sandholm. The Jaguars are coached by assistant coaches Rachel Whiteside, Abby Husak, and Franny Burnett. The head coach is Brett Delaney. The umpires for tonight's game are Mr. Corey Tigas and Mr. Jeff Osborne. The anthem buddies for tonight's game are the AGSA 7 and under blue.
When an athlete walks into Nick Rush,
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we have
to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Lauren McGriff.
Welcome back to Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Tonight's game is presented by Lamberti, Goki, Lucci Law, your local attorneys with a team to fit your legal needs. And as we go around the infield tonight here for the Jaguars, catcher Addie Starr, the hero of last night, the number 8 batter, hit the shot to right field to win the game for the Jaguars in the bottom of the 9th. A little different lineup here tonight for the Jags, giving a couple players a rest from their normal positions. Jordan Kennedy will be at third. She's normally at first base. Over at shortstop, though, is Mariah Belzer, who has just had an outstanding season so far. They're at the shortstop in her first varsity season here with the Jaguars. Cora Boyle is at second. She was our LGL Law Player of the Game last night, going 3 for 5 with a couple sacrifices there from her number 9 spot in the order. A key ingredient in last night's win over number 3, Waukee Northwest. Sydney Morris, normally the catcher, is playing first base tonight for the Jaguars. And then the outfield is normal tonight with Maddie Ott, the freshman, out in left field. Mackenzie James, a 4-year starting senior, in center. And Peyton Drefke, the 3-year starting junior, is out in center field. And in the circle tonight for the Jaguars, the outstanding 8th grader having an all-state year, Lauren Sandholm. Like we said, just an 8th grader here from Northview Middle School on the north side of Ankeny. Sandholm, a .4 earned run average. She's 5-0 on the season. Pitching, she's had more outings than that, but Sandholm has just certainly been nearly unhittable in the circle.
She's been just great on the mound so far this year, Andy, and you know what, just having her out there, it's just a change, it's just a different look. Like we said, we talked about all these girls, you got several different looks between the 5 different pitchers that Centennial throws at you.
First pitch to Reagan Rolling, the leadoff batter, batting .410 for Coach Jim Flaws, the Carlisle Wildcats. Second pitch is on the inside corner from Sandholm for strike 1. Sandholm wastes no time in the circle. In fact, you'll see she's modeled her game very much after former Oklahoma star Jordy Ball, because Jordy Ball no longer at Oklahoma. A lot of speculation that she'll be moving her talents to Omaha, or Lincoln, I should say. And
sounds like she's going back home.
Yeah, be a Cornhusker. And, that's how, as you look at Sandholm there in the circle, you see that patented arm swing as she gets ready to go. The 1-2 pitch is a little bit upstairs. Sandholm has perfected the rise ball right now as an 8th grader, and incredible talent here for the Jaguars. That pitch hacked foul by Rolling. And one of the things you're going to notice tonight, a hallmark of Jim Flaw's coach teams, is on a foul ball, no matter what, they're going to run it out down to first base. They will run that thing. It can be fouled straight back. It can be an obvious foul ball. They are going to run that ball out down the first baseline every time.
That they do. It's just a mindset, and they do it every time.
That pitch misses just a little bit low from Sandholm. It feels like we were just here, and we were not too long ago. Sandholm got 1 out in the top of the 9th last night to get the win against Waukee Northwest. And that pitch over there to Kennedy. Kennedy throws across the infield, and a nice dig over there. The scoop from Sydney Morris to get out number 1. Kennedy realized right away as she let that go. Kennedy just got done pitching the JV game. One of the top hitters, in fact, the top hitter in Class 5A, playing third base for the Jaguars. That time just a little bit off on the throw. The first pitch there from Sandholm to Riley Sievers is strike 1. You'll see all the Jaguar pitchers, in fact, Channel 13 WHO here doing a special tonight on the whole staff of Jaguars. They lead Class 5A as a staff by a considerable margin in runs given up per game, and it's not just one. Sandholm obviously is an 8th grader. We love to talk about her, but there's a couple seniors, a junior, a couple freshmen, right, that come into play. There's a staff of 5, and they can go to Coach Brett Delaney can go to either one of those on a given night, and they'll be just fine.
Just a great mix to have, and their ERAs, as a team is down there in that 1.5 range, which is just phenomenal. And it's just nice to have those available girls to go out there and throw it at any given moment.
There once again you see Sievers fouls it straight back, but she is quickly down the first base line, and there's a story behind that, and we'll talk about that here tonight as the game goes on. Sandholm pitches the rise ball on the outside corner to get strike 3. 2 up, 2 down so far for Norwalk. That'll bring up Lauren McGriff, the senior catcher. McGriff batting .421 in a great senior year for her here in the 3-hole for Carlisle. Sandholm goes with a changeup on the first pitch, misses a little bit downstairs. Addie Starr catching tonight, and she is the Game 2 catcher traditionally for the Jaguars. Grooming her to be a catcher for next year as Sandholm pitches a strike there. Starr normally plays third base in the starting lineup for Centennial, but tonight catching, giving Sydney Morris a little bit of a break on the knees as she has caught the gauntlet. You see Sydney Morris had a great night last night. And one of the things this year the Jaguars doing a little bit differently is they're letting the catchers call the pitches.
Yeah, and it's just something new, and you know what? But they're doing a great job of adapting, and as you can tell by the ERAs, the pitchers are taking it very well.
Sandholm, one of the few times this season we've seen her way behind in the count. It's 3-1 right now to McGriff. That pitch swung on over there once again to Kennedy. She throws across the infield. A couple outs there on the 5-3 putouts for the Jaguars and a strikeout. No runs off, no hits, no Jaguar errors. And we head to the Jaguar half of the first inning. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses: Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Keystone Home Inspections, Reed Plumbing, the Iowa Rush Soccer Club, 72 Degrees, your comfort company, the Sassy Flower Bakery, Alter Trading Corporation, West 40 Market, Nolte & Sons Lawn and Irrigation, Rod Brannon with Shelter Insurance, the New York Life Offices of Josh Cowart, Dr. Brett Renzi and Health First Chiropractic, U.S. Cellular, the Helpful Smiles of Hy-Vee, Dr. Christy Semro with iMart Express, and Springer Floor Care.
Quick strike from Addison Abel, and then the next pitch from Mackenzie James is a leadoff single for the center fielder James, who has had just an outstanding senior campaign here for the Jaguars. Saw her get some key hits last night. Not only her hits, but her play, her glove in the center field has been great.
Great defense, made a great out there in the, I think there was an extra innings in the 8th inning there last night, caught one right up against the fence. Probably took away a run there at that situation.
That brings up junior right fielder Peyton Drefke, who is in there to sacrifice, and that's what she does. Moves James on to second base, and this is something we've seen the Jaguars, who lead the state by a considerable margin in sacrifice bunts. But with their pitching staff this year, it's allowed them to play some small ball. They don't need to put up huge numbers right now to win games.
No, at this point, we've seen that. Get them on, get them over, and get them in. You've heard me say that a million times, but that's what they do. But when you're throwing, pitchers are throwing the ball as well as they are. It's just nice to be able to put 3-4 runs on the board and you feel pretty comfortable.
First pitch there from Addison Abel to Sydney Morris is a ball. Addison Abel comes in a great junior year that she's having. She is 9-2 on the season with a 1.39 earned run average. Second pitch is a ball, low and away as well. And this is where the Jaguars' order can really hurt you, because you go from Drefke, who's just kind of been the sacrificial lamb this year, but you move her, you've got runners in scoring position more often than not with James at second base, and then you look at Sydney Morris, Jordan Kennedy, and Mariah Belzer, and follow them up with Maddie Ott. So they've a great middle part, that heart of the order for the Jaguars.
They've run into about 4 batters with a combined average of about 450 when you put them all together, so it's pretty impressive.
On the 3-0, Morris watches that one come in. It's one her dad, Bill's, probably sitting over there wishing she would have taken a hack at, but Morris has been around the block a time or two. She's going to watch that pitch. The 3-1 to Morris, and that misses on the inside. So right now, Jordan Kennedy, the leading hitter in the state of Iowa right now, she's number 2 in home runs with but has a 610 batting average right now. Just a freshman here for Centennial, and she comes up with no bases to give up to her. Kennedy right now with Mackenzie James at second and Sydney Morris over at first. First pitch upstairs to Kennedy for ball 1.
I loved her quote yesterday. It was just basically see ball, hit ball, you know what? And she keeps it basic.
Don't overthink it,
no,
right?
Exactly. Just get up there and, you know what? If it's where you want it to be, go ahead and take a shot at it.
Coach Flaws wants to bring everybody in right now, have a little conversation about how they're going to handle Jordan Kennedy. She's got 8 home runs on the season here in 18 games, so the pace that is really, really, really good as you look at it. And Kennedy, again, just a freshman, a player that personally I've watched play since she was 8 years old, and she has always been able to hit it out of the park. I wouldn't call her swing pretty, but the strength that she comes at it with, and she's able to put it literally anywhere.
Right, just the power that she has. All she needs to do is just square it up and not try to do too much with it, and it's amazing the more the ball travels to off her bat sometimes.
Last night we saw her take a pitch that looked like it could have been teed up on a faraway hole, low and away, and she put it out of the park to right field. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Kennedy, and they go on the inside corner there from Abel for strike 1. She does not see a whole lot of good pitches throughout the course of the year. The 1-1 delivery to Jordan Kennedy. Gets that one over to the left side. They're going to get the fielder's choice. Kennedy hustling through is safe over there, but the put out over on the fielder's choice from Reagan Rolling. Gets the out, and that'll bring up Mariah Belzer here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Belzer, another player, a welcome addition to the Jaguars this year, a club ball player that decided to join the school team for her senior year, and boy are they happy they've got her. She fouls that one off into the opposite field.
Yeah, nice to have Belzer back. We've seen some defensive, just phenomenal plays with her already this year, and looking forward to more of that as the season goes on.
Just such a feel for the game. Everything that she does, there's a feel to it. Last night we saw just the tags that she puts on, Javi Baez-like. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Belzer, and she's got some speed. The pitch out there from Abel. Runners do not go. That's Morris at second, Kennedy at first for the Jaguars. Over on the baseball field, it looks like the Jaguars are ahead 6-0 over there over Norwalk as Belzer watches that pitch up and out. Makes it count 2-1. A fun summer here for the Jaguars. And we are having the number 1 team in softball and the number 1 team in baseball. Oh, what a snag by Abel. That's one that'll make your heart skip a beat, but Abel able to snag it and fights off that leadoff single there from Mackenzie James. So the Jags get no runs off of a hit, no Carlisle errors, and that's how they do it. They play good, sound, fundamental softball. We'll be back right after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Welcome back to Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Andy Pollock, Kevin Fisher with you here tonight. It's the Jaguars and Carlisle, the Wildcats. Delaney Thompson leading things off here in the top of the second for Carlisle. against the 8th grader Lauren Sandholm in the circle for the Jaguars. All sorts of local media here tonight for this one. And that pitch misses just upstairs from Sandholm. I think your grandpa's down below.
Yeah,
He's hanging on every pitch right now.
I think Grandpa thought that one was a strike.
Yeah, Grandpa Rich. You'll hear him everywhere. He's got a lot of grandkids that have played for Centennial and that will continue to play for Centennial for years to come. In fact, Lauren's got a younger sister, a pitcher in the going to be 8th grade class that's very talented as well. She's got a twin sister in the freshman class that is a very good slap hitter, one of the fastest kids in the state there. Audrey is. In fact, you'll hear her in the 3rd inning here tonight. Audrey will be our play-by-play voice as we have our U.S. Cellular call of the game in the 3rd inning. Be interesting to get some of her perspective on what her twin sister is doing pitching here tonight.
Usually if it's a sister, it'll be pretty brutally honest.
And they've got another sister as well, Eva Sandholm. Eva is a catcher for Nebraska Gold, so a very softball-focused family there, the Sandholms are, as Sandholm issues one of the very, very few walks of the season that she has.
Yeah, that was a rarity there. See her put a runner on. I know her walks are probably one of the lower in the state this year.
We've got our first Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution night. Sydney Light comes in to run for Thompson. Natalie Ramsey up next to hit for Carlisle. So important right now, especially the game of softball. There's so many similarities to baseball, but there's also differences, and one of those differences is just the way that runs are manufactured.
Right. You know what? You just there's just a little different look when you do it from baseball to softball, and you try to put a run on the board, and you can do it so quickly sometimes. It's just, like you said, it's just a little different feel.
The base paths are cut by about 1/3 from 90 feet to 60 feet. And the game just ends up moving very quick. One of the reasons actually on a staff that's not ESPN that we have to stick with just one camera because the game moves so quick and that you can move stuff a bunch.
Right. If you move the camera around too much, you might miss something. But that's what we love about softball when we talk about it all the time. The game moves right along, and there's always just seems like there's action.
You've had a daughter that pitched at a very high level for Centennial, and then now for Morningside, I've got 4 of them that all play. We watch a lot of games throughout the course of a year.
Yes, we do. Yeah, there was love to watch the College World Series and and just to see the high level of softball that's played there.
Sandholm there pitches a strike as she had thrown a couple balls in a row. Digging back in is Ramsey. The 2-1 delivery. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Starr not able to haul it in. And Light. You don't need to worry about it. You've already got the runner at second base. It's a couple uncharacteristic moves here by the Jaguars so far here in the top of the second.
Yeah, it's funny though. We kind of saw that a little bit last night. We just saw a little bit undisciplined, I guess, but then they figured it out.
There's a sacrifice bunt as Morris picks it up and throws to Cora Boyle, covering from second base. As Lanny Schick will step back up next for Carlisle. Second base. First pitch to Schick is a strike, and now we have an offensive conference as well. Talked a couple times, just the normal pace of play when you play Norwalk, or excuse me, not Norwalk, baseball's playing Norwalk tonight. In fact, baseball leads right now 6-0 in the bottom of the 5th. But just the pace of play when you play Carlisle, they make you uncomfortable because just the time between pitches is just more than it normally is.
Yeah, they probably don't want to say they're slow, they're methodical. They've tried to they try to find your weakness, but they take their time doing that, and like what they're doing right now, they're just having a little conference talking about things with a runner on third and 1 out. What are the things that we can do to figure out how to manufacture a run here? And I'm sure everything's in play at this point in time. So you don't know what to expect here at the moment. Be ready for anything.
Sydney Light, the pitch runner, is over at third base right now. The infield, Jaguars counting on scoring some runs here throughout the course of the night. They're going to concede the run on anything to the infield right now, as their goal right now is getting Laney Schick out on the 0-1 count. That pitch misses on the inside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count right now to Schick. Schick, the senior first baseman. A lot of seniors on this Carlisle squad. Fouls that one off. Runners run it out once again. As you watch
right.
it, it's almost like just an assembly line. You see everybody moving there towards their base. But they always run it out. That's ingrained from them from the days of their little Wildcats program there at Carlisle. 1-2 the count right now to Schick. Pitch from Sandholm misses just upstairs. Sandholm has had some pressure-packed situations to pitch in so far this year. We'll talk about that here in a second after this 2-2 pitch. That pitch swung on, popped up there in the infield. That's exactly what she wants.
What you needed.
Boyle makes the play. Sandholm last night able to come into the game against Waukee Northwest in the top of the ninth, pitching, and bases loaded, and the 8th grader throws a strikeout. I mean, gets the win because of that strikeout. So you can easily talk about that one-pitch strikeout, but more so when you talk about the situation, that's very impressive.
Right. I tell you, to come in a situation like that, and you think about it, it's a 15-year-old girl going out there and a young lady walking out there to do that in that situation.
She literally just turned 15 2 days ago.
And that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I thought she just had a birthday. So, I mean, just did a wonderful job stepping in and getting that big out at the moment.
Kalia Freeman up right now for Carlisle. 1-1 the count. Sandholm trying to work herself out of a little bit of a jam right now. That pitch on the outside corner for strike 2, and that's a big pitch from Lauren.
That was big. I said, going back to Lauren, you think about it when you were a freshman in high school and you walked in and all those seniors, they look so much older than you, and it's a big difference. But I tell you what, she's handled the job very well out there on the mound this year.
Sandholm has traveled the country playing for her club team, also plays for the Jags Elite program here in Ankeny, has played for Nebraska Gold, St. Louis club as well. That pitch misses just downstairs on the 2-2 delivery, and now it's a full count. It's Freeman Jr. The full count delivery from Sandholm, fouled off. Good crowd here tonight, as I would expect an even bigger crowd as that baseball game is humming along. Preston Glatt throwing a nice game over there for Centennial. 6-0 right now for the Jags in the bottom of the 5th.
Might have the baseball over here again tonight.
Yeah, that always adds to the atmosphere. That pitch fouled off. Again, we'll allow the runners to make their way 60 feet down the line and then back.
They do that, but they do it in a timely manner at the same time.
They've got it figured out because the on-deck batter has the bat for them, and they're ready to go. Full count pitch. Swung on. That's lined out into left field. Maddie Ott underneath it, and she makes the play. So Sandholm does work herself out of a little bit of a jam. And we head to the bottom of the 2nd. Still scoreless here on the north side of Ankeny. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses: Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Nick Jarash Fitness, Weicker Realtors, the 515 Agency, Ted Sandine Photography, Extreme Services, Sinorama Ankeny, and Amy Wiederin with Coldwell Banker.
Back here on the north side of Ankeny, it's Maddie Ott, the freshman, up to bat for Centennial. 0-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Both teams have had some base runners. Ott lays down a bunch, and she wheels to first base, and she is not quite there in time Good job by Addison Abel fielding her position, throwing across the infield and getting the out. Ott, that unique player that is able to place a bunt to get a hit, but also can hit for power, and she's got 4 home runs on the season.
Yeah, we saw that last night. If you were in Altoona, you might have saw that ball she hit out go by your house. She hit that so far.
Buzzing the tower.
Yeah.
0-1 right now, the count to the junior catcher, Addison Starr. Addison Clark Starr, if that tells you anything about the baseball love in their family. As she puts that one opposite field, and that is going to be just foul. 2 bases written all over it.
Good piece of the ball there on that one. Had the game winner there last night in the second game, like you said, and it was she was having a tough night, but you know what? She stepped up in the moment and came through for the team there in that moment.
They've got Addison Clark and Camden Shea, their next daughter, so you got a lot of ballparks covered in those names. As Starr hits that one up to it. Oh, nice play over at short.
Good play.
Beautiful play over there at the shortstop position. That is Reagan Rolling. Snow-coned it coming up the middle, but able to make the play. And 2 up, 2 down here now for the Jaguars, and that'll bring up Malin Vallejo, the senior designated player. And everybody's rotated over but Vallejo for the slapper, but Vallejo has shown her versatility. She's put a couple over where that outfield is right now.
Yeah, she's got that little kind of that extra little tap swing, you know, that kind of can poke it over the top of the fielders when they pull them in like that, and kind of surprises them sometimes.
First pitch to her is in the dirt for ball 1. Second one's low as well. A lot of speed out of Vallejo. State track runner, sprinter. Her, Belzer, Pollock, all runners that have been at the state tournament. Or the state track meet, I should say. So some speed on this Jaguar squad. She hacks at that one. Pushes it foul over towards head coach Brett Delaney. Picked up his 100th win in his 5 years at Centennial earlier this season. So just over 5 years. It was kind of unfair to say 5 years when he did it. I think in baseball terms we'd say like 4 1/3.
Right, yeah.
Here's the 2-1 to Vallejo. She watches that inside for ball 3. Jaguars, as you look up and down this lineup, Vallejo here as the number 8 batter. Slapper, as she puts that one down, fouled as well. But they've just been so good at hitting throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, we talk about their, power, but we can't overlook the speed that they have with some of those same girls that have that power. Get themselves on the bases, they become a threat there too.
Vallejo, the number 8 batter, batting .417 on the year, and she hacks that one over, and that's going to get her there safe. An infield hit as she just kind of weaved that one through right up the middle. Vallejo, again, now batting over .420 on the season as a number 8 batter. And then you bring up Cora Boyle, and she's had a great season as well.
Great season.
Just the number 9 hitter is batting .353, and there's not a whole lot of places that can say that.
No, it's fun. It's nice. Like we talk about, sometimes it's nice to have like a second leadoff hitter, and she's kind of almost filled that spot here this year for the Jaguars. She's done it great, made some great defensive plays over there at second at the same time. Just been all around, been really effective, in that spot.
First pitch is upstairs to Boyle for ball 1. Jags trying to put a little rally together with 2 outs. Boyle pushes that one foul down the first baseline. Baseball is now up 7-0, still in the bottom of the 5th over there. You can find that on their Game Changer channel. Ankeny Centennial Varsity Jaguars. (1-1) the count right now to Boyle. Pitch is low and away. They try to throw back, and Vallejo's in there safe. Oh, that's called a strike, actually, to Boyle.
He did.
And now the count's 1-2. Fouls that one off. Caught the top half of the ball. Pushed it straight down. Oh, just a beautiful night here. There's not even a breath of wind out there right now. That flag is still hanging down. Great night here on the north side of Ankeny. Here's the 1-2 to Boyle. Fouls it back into our netting. puts a little ripple through the netting, and it's almost a peaceful feeling as you watch that netting ripple
That's right.
down,
That's
down
right.
the line.
Don't listen to all that chain link fence anymore. Make the big sounds.
1-2 with 2 outs to Boyle once again. They set up outside. Boyle puts that one through. Vallejo get around second, heading to third, and she is going to be out at third base. Vallejo stuttered just a little bit as she came around second, but a great throw from out in right field hoses her down. The Jaguars out on the base paths. They get no runs off a couple hits. No Carlisle errors. We'll be back right after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondFord.com.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Jarash Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Hi guys, welcome back. Lauren's pitching for the Jaguars. Oh, number 30 is batting for
Carlisle. Her name is Allie Nolte.
The count is 1-2.
Oh, and a line drive. The left
Missed
center
it.
got, and then throw to second is late.
Allen Norton with a leadoff double for the Wildcats. Now hitting the center fielder, number 23, Abby Berry.
Now batting for Carlisle's number 23, Abby Berry. The bunt. Jordan Kennedy in first for the out.
Berry with a sacrifice bunt. Moving Nolte to third. And we go back to the top of the order for Carlisle, number 15, Reagan Rowling.
Now up to bat is number 15, Reagan Rowling. Strike one. Bunt.
Bunt. Runners coming home. Oh, safe at home.
Safe at home. That was a close play.
It was very close.
Coach Delaney's coming out.
Rolling bunt.
Got time.
Play.
Right.
So Carlisle is up 1-0. A runner on first.
Batting for Carlisle's number 7, Riley Sievers. the
bunt to
third
Jordan.
base to first.
Oh!
For the close play. Safe at first. Runners on first and second for Carlisle.
Severs with a bunt single, moving rolling to second base. Now hitting the catcher, number 4, Lauren McGriff.
Now batting for the Wildcats, number 4, Lauren McGriff. Is that right? Bunt.
Ball high. Runner's going. Oh. Gets past the third baseman. Held that in left field. Carlisle scores.
Looks like Mariah
is hurt.
Now the Wildcats are up 2-0.
Severs moves to second on the throw down at the play at third. Rolling scores the second Carlisle run.
No, it's definitely yours. It's not who you use it at. I think you put it on the catcher, I think.
I mean, she's got to throw it to the
Yeah,
base,
I
and
know.
she did. She didn't get there.
Just high for ball 2.
The count is 2-1. 1 out.
I guess I'll give it the stop. That's to me, she needed to put it.
Oh, and the pop up. Second base, Cora Boyle.
Cora's got it.
For second out.
Now they've got 2 outs.
For the second Carlisle out.
Number 16's up.
Number 16,
Delaney Thompson.
And shows what?
Bunt.
Strike.
Strike 1. Strike 2.
And the pop. Sydney Morris for out number 3.
Everything we do is here to benefit the client. Every decision that's needed to be made, the first question you should ask is, does this benefit the client, and is this the best thing for the client?
Our goal is to make a difference. We have the tools, resources, training, and leadership to make a difference in our agents' lives and their careers. And then they can then take that to make a difference in their clients' lives and ultimately make a difference in our communities.
We are available basically 24/7 to make sure that our agents are getting the support they need to look like $1 million in front of their clients.
Welcome back.
The score is 2-0. Wildcats are up in the bottom of the 3rd.
Leading off the bottom half of the
Back to
third
the top
for
of the
Jags,
order for the
number 15,
Jags.
Center fielder
With Mackenzie James.
That was inside.
Another ball. Inside for Mackenzie
She's throwing her
James.
inside.
Yes.
Pull it to the
Left center
left
gap.
center gap. Another ball. 3-0.
Looking for her pitch here.
We'll see if she tries to get a strike this this one.
Yep.
Strike one.
Got a baseball in the field.
Foul ball.
3-1 for Mackenzie James.
Oh.
Ball to the right side. And she makes the catch from right field.
That was a tough catch.
Great catch out there in foul territory down the right field line for the first Centennial out. Now hitting number 3, Peyton Drefke.
Got Peyton Drefke.
Strike one. Swing and a miss.
Peyton's a good 0-2 hitter.
Yeah.
Hopefully she can battle here.
Looks like the outfielders moved up a little bit, so smash it over their heads. Oh, foul ball. Ball way up there.
Way up there.
Way up there.
And
Nice.
ball to the left side.
Out by the third baseman.
Drefke rounds out to Aaliyah Freeman at third base for the second Jaguar out in the bottom half of the third.
I've got
Sydney
Number
Morris.
First base.
Number 28, Sydney Morris.
Inside. Ball.
Whoa.
Look at how big that gap is.
Yep. Looking to the left side here.
Outside
Ball
pitch.
outside.
They're pitching them inside, so it'd be perfect to just drive it that way.
Good cut by Sydney Morris.
Strike one. Counts 2-1. 2 outs. Ball high.
Looking for her pitch here.
Yes, that's
And
the
the
gap we
left
were.
center gap.
That's the gap that we were
And
talking
she's
about.
going to.
Oh,
Yep. And
Makes
a
it
double for Sydney Morris.
safe on second with Big Joe Money up to bat.
2-out double center field. Now hitting number 25, the third baseman Jordan Kennedy.
Hit that same gap.
Yep. Outfielders are kind of shallow.
Yeah. This is her time.
Nice base hit. Ball high. And a
Timeout
duck line.
called. The shortstop is playing a little over to the left more, so that gap
Looking
is
up the
wide
middle.
open.
And a ball up.
2 balls. Another timeout called by the Wildcats.
Taking their time here, figure out how to approach Jordan.
Probably nervous.
Yeah. And we're back.
After the timeout, the count is 2-0. 2 outs, runners on second.
Looking for Jordan to find the hole here. Hopefully score Sid.
Inside pitch,
Called
strike 1.
Still looking for her pitch to drive the ball.
Looks like they're really pitching her inside. Looking for her to pull it.
Ooh, called strike high. And we've got 2 on the board.
2. Shake, shake, shake. Yes! Hit him in the gap right where we wanted it. Sid comes.
And she's safe at
Save
home.
at second.
And
Save at second.
Worked out there for Jordan.
That's the first run for the Centennial
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Mariah Belzer's up to bat.
Looking for the same thing here. Score Jordan from second.
Jordan's on second. Looks like they're pitching her inside again.
Right fielder moved off the line a little. Looking. Ball high.
High. Outside pitch. No
Ball.
good. 2 balls. This is a chance to take the lead.
Looking for her pitch. And
Yes.
back at the pitcher.
Right back at the pitcher.
Oh, and she makes the play.
Second time she's hit it up the pitcher.
Yeah. Well, Jags got one in this inning. And we'll be back on Centennial Digital.
Completed 3 innings of play. It's Carlisle 2.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses: Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Keystone Home Inspections, Reed Plumbing, the Iowa Rush Soccer Club, 72 Degrees, your comfort company, the Sassy Flower Bakery, Alter Trading Corporation, West 40 Market, Nolte & Sons Lawn and Irrigation, Rod Brannon with Shelter Insurance, the New York Life Offices of Josh Cowart, Dr. Brett Renzi and Health First Chiropractic, U.S. Cellular, the Helpful Smiles of Hy-Vee, Dr. Christy Semro with iMart Express, and Springer Floor.
Back here on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. That was our U.S. Cellular call of the game in the 3rd inning with Cam Starr and Audrey Sandholm, and that pitch is fouled off by Natalie Ramsey down the right field line for a long strike from Lauren Sandholm. That was her twin sister Audrey up here in the box, and then Cam Starr. Actually, that was the battery, the sisters of the battery up here in the box. Cam Starr, the sister of Addie Starr, the catcher, up here calling things. We also have former Jaguar great Lizzie Clunder up here in the 5th inning to get some of her perspective on what's going on out on the field. Lizzie was able to play on some very, very good state qualifying teams for the Jaguars. It'll be fun to hear what she sees. She's helped coach some of these girls as well this season in the club side of things. So it'll be fun to hear what the Iowa State Cyclone has to say about things right now for the Jaguars. That pitch grounded over there to Sid Morris, playing first base tonight, gets out number 1 for the Jags. You know, going back to the Jags at the bat tonight, just have not hit things very solid so far. We're having a really tough time getting a solid connection on Addison Abel.
Yeah, we were just talking about that in our little break there, and just kind of a little bit of a struggle tonight. I think they're just trying to get the timing down, getting into the second time around now with her, and you'd think that maybe they start seeing it a little bit better and see if they can start piecing together a run or two.
Even on the RBI from Jordan Kennedy, just, a little bloop right up the middle. The Jags have 5 hits, but they have not been their normal, the number 2 team in the state for as far as home runs are concerned. They've not been those types of power hits to the outfield.
Yeah, we haven't had nothing in the gap yet to this point, or any home runs, obviously. And, so a single just sprinkled here and there, unless you put a few of them together, it's not going to put runs on the board.
Pitch there from Sandholm makes it 3-1. To Lainey Schick, senior first baseman for Carlisle. Seen Schick the last several years here playing for Coach Flaw's Wildcats team. As she watches a 3-1 in there for a strike as well. So Sandholm has not been able to get ahead in the count quite as much tonight as we've seen throughout the year so far, and that really takes her punch-out pitches, all the junk that she throws, out of the equation. As that pitch hacked over there, and Belzer right there to make the play. She snow cones it. The spin of the ball almost spun it right out of her glove.
I saw that at the last second. It came up to the top of her glove and just about popped out.
And that'll bring up third baseman Kalia Freeman, who's had a nice game tonight over in the hot corner for the Wildcats. Shows bunt, pulls back, and that is inside for ball number 1. Again, thank you to Audrey Sandholm and Cam Starr for a U.S. Cellular call of the game tonight there in the 3rd inning. That ball lined up the middle. Belzer picks up with the heel of her glove and throws it across to Morris for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Back after this, the Wildcats in front of the top-ranked Jaguars by 1. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Jarash Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
And we're back with Maddie Ott, the left fielder, leading things off for the Jaguars here in the bottom of the 4th. Freshman tried to get on with a little surprise bunt in the 2nd inning, was not able to do so, and she's back here batting in the bottom of the 4th. The Jags have got some hits there tonight, but haven't been able to strug too many together as they trail 2-1 to Carlisle here in the bottom of the 4th. Ott pops that one up high, way high right now, as that's going to be caught in foul territory for the out. McGriff makes the play, and that's out number 1, and that'll bring up catcher tonight. About said third baseman. Normally the third baseman, but tonight it's the catcher, Addie Starr.
Yep, just a little different spot tonight, but she's played there many times, so.
Starr fouls that one off over into right field. 5 hits and an error for the Jaguars tonight. That error was a big one, as it was able to score off a steal attempt on third base. Ball got thrown out into the outfield, and that's where they scored the go-ahead run right now, as it is for Carlisle. Star watches that off-speed pitch upstairs. Again, sends the nets rippling here. The great view that you've got tonight here, courtesy of all the parents that did the fundraising to put these nets up, and our wireless feed here from U.S. Cellular. 1-1 the count. Star fouls it back once again. A lot of fans watching here tonight. Make sure to sign on. Let us know where you're watching from. We always love to hear from the fans wherever you are. Even if you're a Carlisle fan tonight, love to hear where you're watching from. The 1-2 count here to Star. Gets a glove on that one. Hacked over there to shortstop. Thrown across the infield for the out. And Rolling makes the play once again. And 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The game's moving along quickly. The opportunities for the Jaguars to put some runs on the boards are fleeting right now.
Yeah, just a little bit of a struggle right at the moment at the plate. You know, like I said, we talked about the big wins last night. You just can't have that letdown coming back into the night. You got to keep that energy, that momentum, and be ready to go again.
And the defensive energy has been there, but the Jags bats have just not been able to square up any of the pitches here from junior pitcher Addison Abel for Waukee Northwest. Carlisle here is Malin Vallejo up to bat, slaps over to third base, picked up over there by Freeman, throws it across for the out, and the Jags go down 1-2-3 once again. Carlisle tried to pull the upset. Back after this, top of the 5th on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Everything we do is here to benefit the client. Every decision that's needed to be made, the first question you should ask is, does this benefit the client, and is this the best thing for the client?
Our goal is to make a difference. We have the tools, resources, training, and leadership to make a difference in our agents' lives and their careers. And then they can then take that to make a difference in their clients' lives and ultimately make a difference in our communities.
We are available basically 24/7 to make sure that our agents are getting the support they need to look like $1 million in front of their clients.
Welcome back as Jaguars trailing 2-1. Stick around here for the bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll have Lizzie Klunder, former Jaguar great, here joining us in the booth as Allie Nolte steps up and watches the first pitch from Lauren Sandholm for strike number 1. Be interesting to get Klunder's thoughts on some of these hitters right now as you go against a pitcher that we haven't been able to square up so far here tonight. And that ball, speaking of not being able to square up, a little duck snort over there to Cora Boyle at second base makes the play for out number 1. A very fast-moving game here tonight. We played right at an hour right now, and we're just over 4 innings into this one. That ball lined over there to Belzer, who wastes no time getting rid of it, never does, and in the game of softball you don't have time to get rid of it. And as I'm looking over right now to the baseball field, I don't think the game's over yet. It was just 8-3, and now it looks like the scoreboard is turned off. So is it over already? I don't know. It looks like maybe the scoreboard is not on.
Off.
We'll see. Not sure over there. The baseball team was ahead. They would have had to score 5 runs there in a hurry.
Scored so many runs they broke it.
Yeah, still stuck at 8-3. Jaguars leading, but the scoreboard's now completely off. Is over. That'd be a really fast game, which is all right. Jaguars baseball team ranked number 1 in the state continues to roll if that is indeed the end of the game, and it might be. I don't see anybody coming back out onto the field. That pitch from Sandholm is a strike, makes the count 2-1 right now to Rolling. Reagan Rolling led off the game tonight. That pitch hacked foul out there into the bullpen for the Jaguars, makes the count 2-2 with 2 outs. So everybody's got their hands moving right now for the Jags. Two and two the count. rise ball, and that is fouled off over there down the left field line. So Rolling has worked both directions right now on her foul balls. Part of that is the location of the pitches. And credit to Rolling because she's taken the location of that pitch and she's taking it wherever it leads her.
Yeah, she's doing a great job adjusting the bat, trying to take it in a certain direction, and obviously we can see she can hit it either direction.
There's a pitch that is over there to Kennedy. Now Belzer throws it across really fast. Belzer, a great play, moving to her right, able to throw across to Morris to make the play. Jaguars need to get some hits together. We'll be back after this with Lizzie Klunder on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Drosh Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Not the sports, exactly.
Welcome back to Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Andy Pollock now joined by former Centennial outstanding first baseman Lizzie Klunder here up in the booth tonight. And Lizzie, you've had a chance to take in 4.5 innings so far. The Jaguars really just have a tough time squaring up the pitcher Addison Abel so far.
Yeah, I feel like we always, and I heard you say it earlier, we kind of have an issue with Carlisle every year, and I think it's always one game, so it's usually we have like 2 shots to kind of get at a team, and this one, I don't know, it's always Carlisle, they always get us, but I think after going a few times through the lineup with the way that our bats have been this year, I think they'll figure it out.
Back to Cora Boyle right now, who's the number 9 batter. She's in her second time at the bat. And she gets a hit right up the middle for Boyle, and she has been outstanding, especially the last couple nights, getting some really good competition. Cora Boyle now is batting over 500 over the course of the last week, and a good hit to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning for her.
Say last night, I swear it was like that spot every time she'd get it right through that gap. She was squaring the ball up really well.
And now Mackenzie James comes up to the plate, a player who you've had the opportunity to play with for a lot of years here at Centennial, and her bat this year has really just taken on a life of its own.
Yeah, Mac, she's always had that competitor like spirit in her, and she's a hunter. That's what Delaney likes to say. He calls us hunters, and she goes up wanting to hit the ball, and she wants to hit it hard. She's not going up to hit for herself. She's going up to hit for the team, which is a great quality for her to have, and she's having her in the leadoff spot is a great spot for her.
She shows bunt and then hacks away. What a play over there at first base. Wow. Kalia Freeman comes charging in on the bunt. Max swings away. Freeman not wearing a mask like we see a lot of people doing, but Freeman, what a play over there at third base.
Yeah, that's what that play's supposed to do. The hit and run is pull the third baseman in to eventually get a hit through, but that was the bounce on that really helped her.
It's everything you want, but just a great play by Freeman over at third. That'll bring up Peyton Drefke. Watches the first pitch upstairs. Drefke, another player that you played with, and Lizzie, you had the opportunity to play on a couple really, really good teams here at Centennial. Where does the makeup of this team kind of fit in? You see the personalities. How do they all fit in with each other with what you've seen? And there, Drefke gets a hit out to right field, and the Jags in business here. So, yeah, finish that right now. Where does just, again, the personalities, how do they all work together?
So I think they do have quite a bit of seniors on the team this year, and even looking out the field, there's only really 2 new players. I mean, 2 of us seniors that were on the field left, and they just had to replace us 2, but otherwise, a lot of the girls on the field, I mean, other than like Jordan, I think everyone else has played on that state tournament field, and I think that experience really helps, especially coming into this year, and I think they're thirsty to get back there, especially not going last year. And
play at the plate and out there at home, and that's a great play once again. And talk about, veteran Reagan Rolling for Carlisle has had an outstanding game at shortstop, and there she's able to throw it home on the fielder's choice and knock out Boyle. And there's a lot of stuff that has to go right to make a play like that.
Yeah, especially on the throw to home. And I see Cora's pretty fast, so that throw's got to be there. And maybe she just didn't get a good enough jump. I don't know. I didn't see that one.
Well, and any time that Sydney Morris is hitting the ball, you know it's coming hot. So that came in very, very quick, and that'll bring up Jordan Kennedy. Kennedy has an outstanding season so far hitting the ball. And the first pitch to her, and you see teams that have just kind of tried to pitch around her, which Lizzie, as a hitter, can be somewhat frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know she just goes up. Jordan's very quiet. She wants to go up. She just wants to hit the ball. She's not thinking too much, and I think it is frustrating. She's like just up there to hit, and she doesn't people are trying to not throw to her, and it's like, what the heck? Like, I just want to hit the ball. I don't think, and she's young, and I think, as great as she is now, she's just going to keep getting better. So I think she'll have to get used to that one.
1-1 the count right now to Kennedy. Runners on first and second for the Jaguars. Kennedy fouls that one off. And she is number 2 in the state right now in home runs, is Kennedy. Last night she briefly was there for a tie until Sydney Potter for Southeast Polk hit another one there at the end of their game against Johnston. But you had an opportunity to hit plenty of home runs in your day and saw people try to pitch around you a little bit as well. And as you sit there and look at it, what's some of your advice to a young hitter like Kennedy?
Oh, gosh. Well, my experience with home runs was definitely more in the club days. I don't know what really happened during school ball, but
it bore the term clunderstruck, right?
Yeah, you could say that. I guess, I don't know. You really just don't have to think about it too much. There were times where I'd have one that would come big, and it's like I wasn't going up there.
You see the runners move on the pass ball.
I would never go up looking for a home run necessarily. There's always that thought as a batter. You go into a situation like last night when bases were loaded and Sydney comes up to bat. It's like how awesome would a grand slam be right here. Oh, yep, there she goes.
There it is. You saw that. You've seen that too.
Goes.
Yep, a full count to Clunder. And what a luxury, though, for Coach Brett Delaney this year, because sorry, I said Clunder as I have you here with me, but it's such a luxury right here for Coach Delaney this year, because not only does he have Kennedy in there batting, as it looks like there is going to be a pinch running situation there at second base,
Sydney.
Actually.
I think Jordan thinks she's going.
Yeah, I thought Jordan thought she was coming out as well.
She's
but
floating around the
they're
base.
looking for that runner in scoring position right now to see what they can do. But what a luxury here for the Jaguars, because Belzer then comes up, and Belzer on the season's batting .379 with a couple home runs, and the future Rogers State shortstop, a D2 powerhouse, now with bases loaded, has a chance to tie it up or maybe even give the Jaguars the lead. First pitch to Belzer, swung on. That's a long fly ball to right field. Belzer all the way back, and it's caught. What an incredible play out there in right field. I believe that's Riley Sievers all the way back to the wall, and Carlisle dodges a bullet there. That was Sievers. What a catch by Riley Sievers out in right field up against the fence after a great charge put into it by Mariah Belzer. Well, thank you very much, Lizzie, for joining us. Got some Jaguars on base, just couldn't quite put them across.
Yep, that was just what I was saying about how awesome a home run would be there, and she definitely gave it a chance. It was a great catch.
Yep, back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondFord.com.
Welcome back here as we head to the top of the sixth. The Wildcats dodge a bullet there with bases loaded, a charge put into the ball by Mariah Belzer. But Riley Sievers right up to the fence. She's had an outstanding night out there in right field.
Phenomenal.
Carlisle takes a 2-1 lead here into the top of the sixth. And up to bat right now for Carlisle is Sievers, trying to capitalize on some of that momentum. 1-1 the count right now to her from Lauren Sandholm. That pitch hacked out there, and that is going to be foul ball. As Mariah Belzer came in, it went just off her glove, and she was had a foot just into foul territory over there on the third base side.
Yeah.
One of those that if you make the play, it's an outstanding play. If you don't make the play, no harm done.
That's right. It's just another strike is what it becomes, but almost a great effort there in herself.
1-2 the count. Sievers pops it up, though, to Addie Starr and gets the out. Low-scoring game. Would have thought it would have played into Centennial's hands here tonight, but right now Carlisle controlling it. An unearned run there in the third inning gave them the 2-0 lead. Jaguars were able to add one in the bottom of the third, and that's where we stand right now. 2-1. Carlisle trying to pull the upset off the top-ranked team in Class 5A.
Kind of like what we expected, though. We always talk about this. Seems like every year this game is just one of those nip and tuck type of games, and you just try to find a way to persevere and pull it off.
So 1-1 count now to Lauren McGriff. One thing we find out in softball is you just don't have a lot of time to talk between pitches, especially when Lauren Sandholm is pitching. She wastes no time whatsoever. There's a pitch again, and she throws it down there in low for ball 2. So 2-1 the count right now to McGriff. Jaguars have 6 outs left to work with, and they will go up to bat with Maddie Ott, their 6-hitter. There's a shot to left field. Speaking of Maddie Ott, it is caught by her out in left field. Maddie Ott played reminiscent of Riley Seaver's play out in right field. Maddie Ott goes all the way back, and Maddie Ott grew up playing club ball with Lauren Sandholm, has made plenty of plays behind her, and there's another one there for Maddie Ott, the freshman.
Really good play there out there by Maddie. When I saw when that ball was first hit, she kind of took a step, and I think she had to figure it out, and that she realized that ball is coming pretty deep, and she went back and tracked it down.
That brings up Delaney Thompson, who punches it through the 5.5 hole over there on the third base side. Back out to Ott once again, and that'll bring up Natalie Ramsey. Third hit of the night there for Carlisle. Jaguars have out-hit them 7-3, but just have not been able to push across that tying run or the go-ahead run. That pitch hacked over there, a little duck snort, caught over there by Cora Boyle, who continues her Gold Glove week as Boyle makes the play. Carlisle quickly back out onto the field. They want to get these last 6 out. Stick with us here tonight. Carlisle Wildcats trying to pull the upset. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Everything we do is here to benefit the client. Every decision that's needed to be made, the first question you should ask is, does this benefit the client, and is this the best thing for the client?
Our goal is to make a difference. We have the tools, resources, training, and leadership to make a difference in our agents' lives and their careers. And then they can then take that to make a difference in their clients' lives and ultimately make a difference in our communities.
We are available basically 24/7 to make sure that our agents are getting the support they need to look like $1 million in front of their clients.
Welcome back, Maddie Ott, the freshman coming up to the plate for the Jaguars right now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And if there's a player on this Jaguar roster that can change the trajectory of a game with one swing, it's the freshman Ott. She's got 4 home runs on the season so far as a first pitch. Swing and a miss as she kind of checked her swing halfway through. And let's not take away from the outstanding night in the circle so far from Addison Abel for Carlisle. She's only given up 3 hits, only 1 run off, or 7 hits, but only 1 run off of those. As that pitch is low and away, catches a corner though for strike 2.
Yeah, like you said, she's given up 7 hits on the night, but they've just been kind of scattered around. And when you can do that, you can still kind of get away with it, obviously, by the score right now.
Carlisle's got the outs in key moments. And they've been able to keep the Jaguars off the scoreboard with the exception of the 3rd inning. 1-2 the count right now to Maddie Ott. Pitch swung on and strikes out. Again, kind of just checked her swing, unsure of her swing as she got about halfway through.
Yeah, she wasn't seeing it. Like, it just felt like she wasn't seeing the particular at bat that well, and got her with a little bit of off speed.
And that'll bring up Addie Starr catching here tonight for the Jaguars. With 1 out here, Starr. That's one of the few pitches tonight that Abel has not controlled as it bounced about 4 feet in front of the plate. Jaguars have not been able to square her up at all. They've been so good this year of some power hits, and they have not been able to do that at all here tonight on Addison Abel. Here's the pitch to Starr. That is a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, she's just kept them off balance a little bit tonight. And like you say, not a lot of power on the hits that they have had. And then when they did, some spectacular plays out there in the
just
outfield.
right at people, right? Starr checks her swing there, and they look down to our first base umpire, says she did not go. And I want to welcome everybody watching here tonight from all over the world. There's a 2-1 pitch to Starr. That is on the outside corner for strike 2. 2-2 the count here in a 2-1 game. Carlisle trying to upset 5A's #1 team, Ankeny Centennial Jaguars here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Starr, swing and a miss. There's now 2 strikeouts in this inning from Abel. I believe that's doubled her total here on the night, just in 1 inning.
Now hitting number 1, the designated player, Malin Vallejo.
And that brings up Malin Vallejo. Vallejo had a hit in her last at-bat. Speedster. She watches that first pitch across the middle of the plate for strike 1. Jaguars suffering. It's not quite the energy that there was last night.
Yeah, a little bit of a letdown in a ways, I guess you could say, just with the energy itself, and the crowd's trying to get them back into it, and I think they gotta figure out a way to make a little noise on their own here.
Abel has been a big part of that. She has absolutely silenced the Jaguar bats from the circle here tonight. 1-1 the count right now to Vallejo, swing and a miss. So we've seen even more, as Abel has got more comfortable with the Jaguar hitters, a lot of times you see the hitters become more comfortable, but it really looks like Abel's becoming more comfortable.
Yeah, she seems like she's, kind of figured a number of them out and is throwing a lot of good pitches.
Vallejo watches that pitch outside, evens up the count at 2 apiece.
A lot of movement on the pitches, just sitting up here watching, and, when you get the ball moving different directions, left, right, up, down, it's tough on a hitter.
That pitch is low. Vallejo trying to get a base runner for Centennial.
They'd love to get her speed out there right now. Sorry, Andy.
Especially the way Cora Boyle's been hitting lately for the Jaguars. Vallejo fouls that one off. Ooh, nearly caught there. It was not, so Vallejo lives to see another day. Full count to Malin Vallejo, the senior. Pops that one up, foul out of play. Souvenir over there towards the baseball side of things. The #1 ranked Ankeny Centennial Jaguar baseball team. #1 ranked Ankeny Centennial Jaguar softball team tonight has had their bats silenced by junior pitcher Addison Abel. Vallejo watches that pitch low. And that puts the equalizer on the bases for Cora Boyle.
Vallejo with the walk. With 2 outs. Now hitting number 10, the second baseman.
Obviously no sacrifice in play here. The Jaguars have been so good at that this year, but Boyle, one of the hottest bats in the lineup from the 9-hole, steps in. Watches the first off-speed pitch. They try to throw back behind Vallejo. She's in there in time, but that is a strike to start things off to Boyle.
Oh, that was a quiet strike.
0-1 the count right now to Cora Boyle. She can find a gap in the outfield. The Jag will tie this thing up with Vallejo's speed on the bases. That pitch is going to allow Vallejo to head to second.
There you go.
Puts her in scoring position. So we've seen a couple of those here tonight. As good a control as Abel's had, there has been a few balls hit the backstop, and she's going to have to be very careful about that right now.
Yeah, we've said that, she's kind of kept the hitters under control. We've seen a couple, like you said, a couple wild pitches, but for the most part, kept them at bay.
Jaguars trying to rally with 2 outs. That pitch is low to Boyle. 2-1 the count. The #9 hitting second baseman in the Jaguar lineup. Sure be nice to see her come through with a big hit right now.
Another one of those pokes between second and first there.
A lot of space over there right now. Boyle grounds it over to second base, picked up, thrown over to first. And once again, Carlisle, every time they need to, they come up with a play here tonight. Nice ground ball there thrown by Addison Abel. Carlisle and the Jaguars head to the 7th. Carlisle trying to pull the upset up 2-1. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
And we're back as the Jaguars try to minimize the damage here in the top of the 7th and maybe have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th as Lainey Schick steps up to the plate for Carlisle. Her pitch is lined out there into left field, and that could be extra bases for Schick. She rounds first, head to second. Drefke picks it up, throws it in, and Schick in there safe at second base with a double to lead off the inning. And if you're the Jaguars trying to keep this game under control, that's the last thing you want to see.
Yeah, you wanted to come into that inning there hoping to try to get a 1-2-3 inning, get right back at the at-bat if you could. Just the way the game has gone tonight, a run or two is a big difference right now, obviously.
Evan Johnson-Myers in there to run for Schick at second base. The Jaguar corners start to come in right now for Kalia Freeman, whose glove has been really, really good out there at third base tonight. Carlisle has been the masters of small ball. They have put the bunts in situations where, or in places where Centennial has had a hard time making the plays. Sandholm looks in. She just wants to throw the ball right now. Looking in, waiting for the umpire to get in position. They show bunt once again, and that is a strike. He said she offered. Jeff Osborne says that Freeman offered, and that is strike one.
Yeah, Lauren was ready to throw, and the umpire was still writing his notes.
0-1 the count right now to Freeman. She shows bunt. Nice bunt once again. Kennedy comes in, picks it up, throws it over to first base, where the second baseman, Cora Boyle, is covering. Another sacrifice there for Carlisle. And that moves Johnson-Myers to third base, and Carlisle trying to punch across some insurance runs right now. Allie Nolte comes up to the plate.
Jays have got to really communicate here now. You know, you're in a situation where you really don't want this run to come across, so you got to figure out how to prevent that.
First pitch from Sandholm is a strike. Carlisle has 4 hits on the evening, which not a huge amount, but they were able to string a couple of them together, and that's what the Jaguars have not been able to do. That pitch right there to Sandholm. They go home with it, and out at the plate. No, they say she's safe at the plate. Jeff Osborne says Evan Johnson-Myers got there under the tag, and the throw just a little bit high there as Starr tried to get it down on Johnson-Myers, but she got there, and that very important run there for Carlisle.
Close play at the plate, you know, and you had to try to prevent that from happening. Just that was the call.
Yeah, and honestly, Sandholm just for a brief moment looked over at first. If she goes straight home with it, that plays there in time on the bang-bang. But just that brief indecision. There's another bunt, and Kennedy throws to first, safe over there at first. Oh, they did call her out. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
That's 3 outs? No.
That's 2.
2 outs. So the runner at second started to walk towards the dugout like he was a third. Might have had a chance to get her out. As Nolte started to walk towards the dugout like it was, and it certainly was not. And we head to the top of the order right now with Reagan rolling. shows bunt, runner goes, and
Nobody
that ball's
there.
going to be thrown. Nice job by Belzer to keep it in the infield, but taking advantage right now, some speed on the bases and moving another runner forward is Carlisle.
Carlisle just, attention to details, little things like that, and they're putting the pressure on the Jaguars, and they just got to figure out how to react and slow the game down.
That ball's popped up over there into right field, and over there to make the play is Cora Boyle, but the Jaguars going to need to sprinkle some coffee on the bats or something right now to wake him up. They got to score a couple runs to keep this game alive. As we head into the bottom of the 7th, Carlisle looking to pull the big upset. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses: Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Nick Jarash Fitness, Weicker Realtors, the 515 Agency, Ted Sandine Photography, Extreme Services, Cinerama Ankeny, and Amy Wiederin with Coldwell Banker.
And we're back with the top of the order with the Jaguars trying to string together a couple hits here in the bottom of the 7th, something they have not been able to do tonight against junior pitcher Addison Abel. She's been so good for Carlisle, but Mackenzie James going to try to change that. First pitch from Abel is inside for ball 1. Not going to do it with one swing right now.
No, this is where you got to be patient. And when you're down 2, you just got to start with one. Figure it out from there. Got to start pushing those runners across.
Jaguars have made a play anytime they needed to so far this year as James watches that pitch in the dirt. And we've seen Abel get behind in a couple counts tonight, but every time she's been able to battle back and has got some key outs at key moments. Jaguars have out-hit Carlisle 7-4, yet trail 3-1 on the scoreboard. Here's a 2-0 pitch. James watches that one upstairs. So now 3-0 to Mackenzie James. Again, we've seen 3-0 as well. The Jaguars just not able to take advantage of it, as now Coach Flaws wants a timeout. He wants to go in and talk to his junior pitcher. And Kevin, you're the parent of a pitcher, and you've seen this situation. What does a coach say to a pitcher in something like this?
You take a deep breath between pitches, relax. This is have fun, but enjoy the moment. It is competition, but at the same time, there's a lot of other things that are going on, and you just go out there and do what you do. You've gone through practice, you've done the routines, now you just translate it over to the game, and you know what? You go out there and just enjoy the moment.
So if there is a hitter in the Jaguar lineup who's got a green light on 3-0, it would be Mackenzie James. I doubt she does, but she is one of the state's leaders in doubles, and you'd certainly like to see a runner at second base right now for the Jaguars, but as it is right now, Abel stares her down on the 3-0 delivery. That pitch is a strike right down Broadway.
Yep. Last time James was up, Abel did work out a 3-0 jam with her. He ended up getting a fly out with her out into right field.
Abel has just not allowed the Jaguars to square her up at all here tonight. Here's a 3-1 pitch to James. James hacks that one foul just like that. It's a full count. Seen this one before. A lot of fans here tonight, as always, on the north side, trying to will the Jaguars onto a couple runs and at the minimum extend this game right now. As we sit here in the bottom of the 7th, nobody out. The leadoff batter, Mackenzie James. Full count. That pitch is upstairs, and James gets a huge round of applause. The difference is right now as Peyton Drefke comes up, who's, again, one of the state's leaders in sacrifice bunts, really out of the equation right now because the Jags need 2 runs.
Yeah, if it was a 1-run situation, we might be looking at the potential situation of that. But when you got 2, I think she's going to be up there swinging.
Drefke batting over 400 on the season, digs in. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. James, a hard lead off first, but does not steal. 1-0 the count right now to Drefke, the 3-year starter in the outfield as a junior right now. That pitch is upstairs as well. And another quick mound conference for Carlisle.
This is a situation, with Mackenzie on first over there. She has to realize she's only one of two that are needed. Just don't be, you got to get pushed across, and there's no need to, get in a hurry or do anything silly at this point in time. Just be, ready to go when the time's there.
The out is not worth nearly as much as the base runner in this situation.
That's right.
As Drefke with a 2-0 count from Abel digs in. That pitch is upstairs.
And when you and when you see what's coming up here in 3, 4, 5, 6, that's why you want to see the more runners you have on base, the more critical they can become.
Here's a 3-0 to Drefke. That's right down the middle for strike one.
She tried to sell it.
Yeah, 2 hitters in a row, though. Abel has got behind in the count 3-0. Drefke represents a tying run right now at the plate. Here's the 3-1. And that is on the outside corner for strike 2. Drefke hitting .415 on the season.
Now you just win the pitch. Figure it out.
Full count to her. Swing on and fouled over there off the Centennial dugout. Got her bat through the zone. Decided a little bit late that she better fight it off.
Well, that's all right. Another opportunity. Foul it off, figure it out, maybe get another pitch, Just makes the pitcher throw another quality pitch at you again.
I'm not sure I want to test the glove of Riley Sievers out in right field. Let's try hitting it somewhere else right now. Sievers had a great night out there in right field for Carlisle. There's a pitch. Drefke grounds over there to third base. They throw across to get the out. She moves James forward, but that out is very important right now for Carlisle, as they're now 2 outs away from pulling the upset of the number 1 ranked team in Class 5A. Sydney Morris now comes up to the plate.
Yeah, I'm sure they're recognizing the situation themselves. It's outs and runs, and they'll get the runner on second doesn't mean anything to them right now.
Not a situation where you're going to move Morris to first. She watches the first pitch for a strike. With that open base, you're not going to put the tying run on the bases right now, especially with what's coming up in the order.
Right, they're looking down the lineup. They're going, okay, we got to take these one at a time and just figure out how to make the play.
Abel goes to the off-speed. Jaguar fans don't like the call, but the off-speed pitch, the stitch caught the outside corner for a strike, and now just like that, it's 0-2 to Morris. Morris throws a glove on it. She's going to hustle over to first base. They make the out over at first and moves James to third, but now everything rests on the bat of the freshman first baseman, third baseman tonight, Jordan Kennedy.
Carlisle got what they wanted there. Again, traded the out, and they'll let the runner move over.
Well, they'll definitely pitch around Kennedy right now. Don't want to give her anything good to hit. First pitch, outside, strike one. They throw back to James, a hard tag. Sends the ball over towards the Carlisle dugout. James is safe there. Very close, and that's the situation where James has to understand, too.
Yeah.
Your run doesn't mean a thing right now.
That's right.
Out, you just got to be careful. You don't need to be getting home on anything. 0-1 the count right now to Kennedy. Swung on, fouled off, and just like that, 0-2. So Abel, who got behind the first couple batters 3-0, is now worked ahead of the next couple, and she's 1 strike away from pulling the upset on the Jaguars. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Abel not going to give Kennedy anything good to hit right now, ahead 0-2. Way outside, ball 1.
Well, if there's ever a time we were looking for a big shot, this would be it.
Here's the 1-2 pitch from Abel to Jordan Kennedy. Off-speed pitch, just a little bit outside. Evens up the count at 2 apiece. That's where Jordan Kennedy can make a name for herself right now.
Yeah. This would be a great spot for something, but it said is Abel's being very careful here on these last couple pitches, making sure that nothing's too far into the zone.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. She got Kennedy out. Carlisle The number 5 team in Class 4A upsets the number 1 team in Class 4A here on the Jaguars home field, 3-1. That's a big upset, and that really, not going to lie, that hurts because the Jaguars were on a roll. They had won 13 in a row, but just could not solve the pitching tonight of Addison Abel.
They sure couldn't. You know what? She kept them off balance all night, and kudos to her. Excellent job on the mound, just kind of really working the outside part of the zone, and then as we saw in the strikeout there, went back inside, and I think kind of fooled Jordan a little bit when that pitch came way in on her hands there. So excellent job by Carlisle tonight. Hats off to them.
Carlisle improves to 15-2 on the season. In the hour and 14-minute game, went very quick here tonight. Centennial ends the night 1 run off 7 hits, and that's a big thing. 7 hits is not bad at all, but just were never able to string things together.
Yeah.
And had opportunities for sure. And we saw that last night. They were able to extend it defensively long enough and then able to finally capitalize in the bottom of the ninth. Tonight, just never were able to string those multiple hits together.
Everything was kind of just spread out throughout the evening, and when you don't get back-to-back hits or anything big, it's hard to push runs across. It's hard to do the things that you like to do to score runs, and they just weren't able to get in that position tonight.
Carlisle only had 4 hits on the night, but they had 2 runs off one of those runs was earned. But they hit it. They did. 3 runs off those. They won 3-1. But the final tonight again, we've got to pick our Lamberti, Goki, and Lucci Law player of the game, and it's tough really to find a bright spot tonight for the Jaguars as you look around. I mean, I'm not sure anybody had multiple hits. Lauren Sandholm was very good in the circle once again. Gave up 2 earned runs, which is actually well above her season average. So credit to Carlisle there, but. Carlisle, just a really good night from Coach Jim Flaw's team.
Yeah, you know what? They just did a fabulous job. They made the stops when they needed to make the stops, figured out how to score the runs when they needed to score the runs. Like you said, 4 hits and 3 runs. And you don't see that very often on that few of hits. And Jags just weren't able to – the little detail things kind of got away from them tonight, I think, just a bit. And Coach Delaney will talk about that, though, I know, going forward. And that's a good thing. It's a good learning experience. It kind of snaps a winning streak. Don't get too comfortable. Figure some things out, and you come back, and they'll be strong again next week.
For as long of a season that softball is, it's also a short season. It's a grind because you're playing 40 games in about 35 days, really, is what it ends up being. So to be able to bring that focus night in and night out is very difficult, but some of the best teams, that's what they do, and it's been a long time, and in fact, I'm not sure ever that a Class 5A team has been able to go all the way through undefeated. So like you said, you learn from one of these nights like this where the bats just couldn't solve Addison Abel. In fact, more strikeouts than we've seen the Jaguars have really at any point this year as well. So able to get on the Jags, and Carlisle gets to head back down to the south side of Des Moines with a win tonight. They improved 15-2 on the year. The Jags dropped to 17-2. So want to thank you tonight, Kevin, for joining us here up in the booth once again. Want to thank
you.
Audrey Sandholm and Cam Starr for calling the game, and our USA or call of the game there in the 3rd inning, and also thank former Jaguar great Lizzie Clunder for joining us there in the 5th. We'll be back, I believe, next Wednesday, is our next production here. Actually, tomorrow night for baseball here on Centennial Digital. The baseball team was victorious tonight, 8-3 over Norwalk. They will remain number 1 in the state. The Jaguar softball team has tomorrow off before they head to Urbandale for a doubleheader on Thursday. Thanks, everybody, for listening here tonight. For Cash Von Bali, Kevin Fisher, and myself, Andy Pollack, this has been Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
You are watching Jaguar Soccer on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Visit one of our 6 locations for all of your automotive and tire service needs.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Drosh Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.